inside our New York studios. It's Inside College Basketball. Brent Stover alongside Gary Parrish, Rebecca Okafor, Ice Young as well. A packed Tuesday night of college hoops. We start in the Big 12. TCU end of the day among the last four in the bracket, according to our CBS Sports Bracketology, and had a massive quad one opportunity on the road against number 10 Texas Tech. Jamie Dixon and company came to play. Tanner Toolson to Lataris Lelavicious. The Horned Frogs up 55-51.
And then Lelavicious stays hot from beyond the arc. They left him alone. Can't do that. Texas Tech here down 7. Anderson, though, hits Atwell for a triple, trying to bring a little life to the Red Raiders, but TCU up 4. Michael Robinson here gets blocked, but then it's Xavier Edmonds on the cleanup crew, aisle 24. TCU, what a big dub.
They've won 4 straight, 7 of the last 8. 73-65 is the final. Edmonds gives them 20 and 12 on 6 of 10 from the field. Micah Robinson, 6 of 10. 6 steals of his 15 points. TCU now owns 5 quad one wins as they take a major step toward an at-large bid. Does this win, in your mind, lock it up for him, GP?
I'm not ready to go that far because, in my mind, lock it up means that you could lose everything you do between now and Selection Sunday and you're still in the bracket. I don't know if that would be true for TCU right now, but obviously this is massive. I don't know if any other bubble team is going to record a quadrant one win on the road against a top 10 team in the final week of the regular season, but that is what they just did. And I know that Texas Tech is without JT Toppin, but they've been without him for a little while now, and they were undefeated without him up until this game, even knocking off Iowa State over the weekend. This is an incredible win for TCU and the type of thing that moves them in the bracket in the correct direction, but they still, got some work to do.
TCU took care of business. They got a big win on the road, and it's the way they did it. So offensive rebounds are the toughest thing to get in basketball. They got 15 of them tonight and converted them for 22 points. You have to go and get those things. You have to go and get it. And that's the mindset that you have to be as a bubble team. You have to go and get it. And that's what TCU demonstrated tonight.
Yeah, I think about being a player and the momentum that this builds, right? Like beating a top 10 team at this point in season gives you a certain level of confidence that you can continue to do what you want in terms of winning games. They've won 10 games in the Big 12, and they finished their last regular season game versus Cincinnati, which is a good opportunity, quad 2 opportunity, GP. And so I think that they got to control their own destiny a little bit here, but this win certainly propels them.
Cincinnati looks really good right now. This is going to be a tough game. At least it is home, as you alluded to, in Fort Worth. Staying in the Big 12, Kansas hadn't lost back-to-back games all season, but after getting blown out by Arizona over the weekend, the Jayhawks found even more trouble at Arizona State after a hard foul in the first half. We're going to show it to you in a bit. Bill Self gets a tee, gets thrown out. Meantime, Melvin Council Jr., they had trailed by as many as 20, only down 3 at that point, GP.
So now it's a 2-point game, but that's Anthony Johnson. Off the bench, he had 9 points, buries a 3 at 60-55. 2 minutes remaining, Arizona State up 7. Masamba Diop, strong dunk, up 64-55, and now we're in the final minute. He's wide open under the basket. That's Diop again. He had 19 and 9. Arizona State 70, Kansas 60. KU star Darryn Peterson, just 3 of 18 from the field.
KU back-to-back losses first time this season. Arizona State won back-to-back games against top 15 teams for the first time in 8 years. Thoughts on what we saw there out west in the Desert Ice?
Well, I mean, a tough game for Kansas. I think you look at it and your coach gets ejected during the first half of the game, and so that's a large chunk to play without him. We know the Darryn Peterson story. I'd like to highlight here, though, that Darryn Peterson, who's under the basket, gets called for the foul. It looks like to me that he is getting held by the defender. And as a guard, what you're taught is when a defender is trying to wrap you up underneath with your arms, you're taught to flail your arms forward so it looks like you're drawing contact. I felt like Bill Self was correct to be beside himself because of how the foul was called. And I could understand that, hey, heat of the moment, things are said, but it also didn't seem like it was enough for him to get ejected. I don't know what he said, but it just seemed like it was a lot.
Yeah, so my big takeaway is this is Kansas' second loss in a row. They're 2-4 in the last 6, and this is really a time of year you're really trying to gain momentum, make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. It's a little difficult. You have Darryn Peterson's missed 11 games, and every time you take a player out, you got to reset. And then when you reintroduce a player, you got to reset again. You understand? And that makes it very, very difficult. So I'm just curious. They have a few games to kind of get things together, but I'm just curious how the apps. I mean, he's a heck of a player, but to go in and out a lot, to form the cohesion you really need to have. I'm just curious how that plays out going forward.
I see you make an interesting point. I'm with you. I think Darryn Peterson was trying to fight through something that he shouldn't have had to be fighting through. The whistle went the other way. Bill lost his mind, got removed from the game. But sometimes I think coaches just want to fight for their stars, particularly the stars that are struggling. I bet Jim Calhoun lost his mind a few times for this guy. And so that seems like what it was happening here. Still, Kansas comes back. They have a chance, but they can't quite get there. And now, like you said, they've lost 2 in a row. They've lost 4 of 6. And it's interesting to hear you say that from a player's perspective about the difficulties of having not just any player, but the star player who takes all the shots come in and out of the lineup, because that's difficult to navigate, I would imagine, and you're telling me that it is. Now, Kansas 12-7 with Darryn Peterson on the year, 9-2 without him. I'm not saying they're better when he's not in uniform, but they have one more this season when he's not in uniform.
They are home against K-State to close out the regular season over on CBS Saturday. Over in the SEC, a couple of ranked teams were on the ropes Tuesday. We start with 16th-ranked Alabama, which had won 8 straight entering the night, but had a very tough time at Georgia. Georgia up by 4, final seconds of the half. Cannon catching's a career night, 20 in the first half. Bulldogs up by 7. And then catching's behind the back pass. Somto surreal right there, 72-64. Marcus Millender going to dribble back behind the line, hit the 3. Georgia with a high-quality win, 98-88 is the final, securing a 21 season for the first time since 2014-2015. Vandy on the road against Ole Miss.
The wild one down in Oxford. That's A.J. Storr. Gets it to go, plus the foul, made the free throw. Ole Miss was up 6 at that point, but under a minute, Vanderbilt has cut it to 2. Duke Miles gets that to go. Game tied at 74. We end up in overtime. This is Tyler Tanner. He had a big game and one, made the free throw. Vandy up 84-79 on the road, and then it's Tyler Nickel. 4-3. Commodores win it 89-86 when Patton Pinkins can't get this to go late. Tyler Tanner, like I said, big game from him. He has played like an SEC Player of the Year candidate for much of this season.
All right, over in the Big Ten, UCLA had won 5 straight at home against top 10 teams and got a chance for another Tuesday night, hosting a Nebraska team seeking to tie their program record for wins. Cronin and company, though, man, this was completely one-sided start to finish. Already up by 7. Xavier Booker knocks down the wing 3. Bruins 19-9. Trent Perry had 20 points. Left open, he sinks one from outside. They're up 15. Tyler Bilodeau. As a team, UCLA on their home floor hit 10 threes, up 18. Then Eric Daly Jr. able to get to the rim, slicing through that Nebraska defense. He had 14. 72-52 is the final. It's an easy win for the UCLA Bruins. They get their 20th victory of the season, first double-digit loss of the year for Nebraska. They continue to slide a little bit here late in the regular season as Perry, Daly, and Bilodeau all high-quality games.